So this is our Adobe Animate software. This area will be considered as a menu bar. Let's take a file, new, or you can use the shortcut Control N to open a new document. After you click on this, you'll find a dialog box like so. Okay. If you have an option of Full HD, click on the Full HD. If you don't, type in this inputs 1920 by 1080 width by height. Okay. After that, create document. So you'll get something like this. Let's understand one by one what are each of these things. This will be your toolbar. You'll get all the tools from here. This is the timeline. Here you can add and remove frames, increase and decrease the time of the animation, and many more things that we'll discuss further. And this is the properties panel. You can further edit the tool or the frame from the properties as well. Okay. This white area will be considered stage. All of our animations will taken place in this stage area. You can use Control minus and Control plus to zoom in or zoom out, or you can just go in here. These are the values to zoom in or zoom out. Fit in window would do something like this. 75 increased it, and I'll go back to fit in window for now. Okay. So let's go to the first tool. This is the selection tool, and we have a sub selection tool. Let's see the difference between these two. First, let's explore the selection tool. This is our selection tool. It looks regular, but we don't have any object on our stage, so it won't work. So let's take simple object. We can choose the fill and stroke from here. You can drag. There. We have our object. Now use the selection tool. We have this object and the stroke separate. I'll give undo. Now if I double click on this object, I'll have the stroke and the fill both at the same time. If I give a double click at the stroke will be separate. Okay. I press undo. I double click on this object. I can change the color like so. Stroke from here. Let stroke size we have increase or decreases stroke size from here. Okay. So if I click on the stroke, it will just select one side of the stroke. This dot means the selection. This is how a selection looks like. It gives a dotted appearance to the object. Okay. So if I want to select the whole set of strokes, 4 strokes we have, double click on that and we have selected the whole set of strokes. Okay. Now what I can do is I can draw a selection like so and do portion of this object selected and can cut it out like so. So I can divide as per the shape of the selection like that, just like that. Okay. Double click and will select it. Single click will give me separation between the stroke and the fill. And one more thing the selection tool does is when you go to the edge, we have this arc sign here below the mouse. So just click and drag and this will give this shape a curve effect like so. You can go to any side and you can get this effect. One more thing is here you can click and drag the corner points like so. Go to the corner points, especially the corner points, you will find this angle like symbol beneath the mouse, and then you can click and drag and you can edit it like so. Also you can separate the fill and stroke again. Okay. Now let's go and check out the sub selection tool. In this tool, it will get selected through the points. We have 4 points in this object: 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can see when I go to the corner, it shows me a point. Click, and there, point is changed. I can do multiple selection of the point. Shift select 1, 2. Now I can change it like so. You can drag, or you can just take a selection like so. These 2 points are now selected, and you can change it as per your requirement. This tool doesn't have much of a capacity. It just does the changing in the shape as per the points. Okay. Anyway, both the tools are selection tools, and you should be mindful of when to use when. Next is free transform tool. Shortcut we have is Q. Select this object, double click, and we have the selection of stroke and fill as well. You see there is a bounding box here. Now if I go to the corner, this corner or this corner or this or this, we have the same thing going on. This will also have the same thing, but it's quite a different thing. Right click and this will do this. Stretch and squeeze from the sides. Or you can do it from top to bottom. Stretch and squeeze from the top to bottom. But the corners will overall increase and decrease the size. And if you press shift, this shape will be proportional. It won't squeeze like so. This is squeezing and stretching. But if you press shift, the shape stays constant. This is the practice you should do. Always scale using shift, holding shift, and then scale. And when you go a little bit out, you see this circle sign, which is obvious that it will give you a rotation effect. Rotate this object like so. Okay. If I go to this here, we have this arrow thing going on here. You can click and drag and give this. This is called skewing the shape. You can get from the sides. This from the any of the side, center point of the side. Okay. So we have scaling, we have stretching and squeezing from here also. We have rotation, but we have one more thing. We have this thing going on. What is this? Center point. We can go just click and drag and put this center point here. Now rotate this thing. It will rotate as per the assuming this is the center of the object. You take it here, it will assume this as the center of the object and will rotate around this like so. Okay. So this is how the free transform tool works, and we'll look at this application in the further sessions. We have the lasso tool here. Shortcut is L. Use L. You can draw a freehand shape, and you see how it got selected. As per I drew my selection to that kind of a shape. We have this polygon tool. In this, the only difference is I have the straight line here. I can't draw freehand thing. So after selection, I have to press V for selection tool, so I can move this or cut this object further. Okay. Now let's delete this, double click and delete. Next is fluid brush tool. Shortcut is Shift B. We have this kind of effect going on. The fluid brush tool. We have this size. We can increase and decrease the size and the color from here. Let's take a blue one this time. Increase the size a little bit, and now we have this kind of stroke effect. You can use this to make hair, mustache, eyebrows, any such objects like similar objects. Stabilizer. Curve smoothing. You can increase and decrease the curve smoothing from here. If I take a sharp turn, it still gives me a smooth curve. Okay. Control A is to select all and delete. You can explore the other options from the properties. Okay. Next is classic brush tool. Shortcut is B. This is a simple brush tool with a round shape. Nothing fancy with this tool, but still very useful tool. You can do the same, increase or decrease the stroke size from here and the color from here as well. Very similar to that, but with lesser options and a simple shape. Okay. Shadows. Next is eraser tool and shortcut is E. This is very straightforward tool. It just would erase any over anything you move, like so. Okay. You can increase and decrease the brush size from here. Erase your mistakes with using eraser tool. Simple as that. We have a rectangle tool here. Shortcut is R. Click and drag. Press Shift to make a perfect square. If I release Shift, you can do this rectangle. Now, if I press Shift, it will give me a square. Length and width the same size. Okay. Next is oval tool. Same thing. You can drag to get the shape. Press Shift for a perfect circle. So the next tool is Polystar tool. Click and drag and you will get this 5-sided polygon here. Same this fill color for now. Now I can do this 8-sided also. I can go here, tool options, number of sides, can change it 8. So I'll get an 8-sided polygon, that is an octagon, like so. Okay. I can even change the style of the polygon, style the polygon from tool options. Select this option, polygon, change it to star. You can drag and I will get an 8-sided star. Let's go back and change to 5. I'm gonna have this 5-sided star, normal star. Control A and delete every single shape. Next is the line tool. Shortcut is N. So click and drag and you get this line. You can make any custom shape using this tool. This is our custom shape. After doing this, I can fill in the color using this bucket. Paint bucket tool. Shortcut key. Click. I have this shape with me. But in case you make a mistake, like you do a shape like this, and by mistake you missed a little point here, and if you go okay, and it will not take a color. Okay, make sure this shape is closed so that it will get filled. So like now it's a closed shape. Now use paint bucket and fill. That's the common mistake pretty much everyone does. So make sure the shape is closed, and then this paint bucket tool would work. Yeah, Control A and delete. Next tool is text tool. This is the text tool, or you can use shortcut T. Click, and we will get this kind of text box. I'll type in text. After typing in text, I can click on this selection tool. Now editing will be off, and now I can further edit from the properties. Like I can change the size from 120 to 70. I change the fill colors from here, black. I can also change the font style from here. Okay. I can give this bold or light. We have this bold italics options also. That depends on the font. This font doesn't have italics options, so just light and bold we have here. Okay. I can increase or decrease the spacing from this. Click and drag. Increase or decrease the spacing. By default, it will be 0, 0, or you can type in some number like 12. Let's have a 0.